Hey guys, so today I have a Halloween makeup tutorial for you on this really pretty fawn or deer costume, and I'm also going to show you how to make this DIY antler flower crown I'm wearing in this video. So let's go ahead and get started with the DIY first. So you'll need a couple tools from the craft store, and I got everything from Michael's, and I'm using this molding clay here to create my antlers, and I'm using about a golf ball size amount, and you're just gonna roll it into like a hot dog shape and pinch it in half right down the middle here, kind of towards the center, and then you're going to shape your antlers. And it's really up to you what you want your antlers to look like. You can look at pictures for inspiration, and I'm just making some smaller ones so that they're not too heavy on my headband. So this is kind of what it looks like right now, and it doesn't have to be perfect or exact at all. Just kind of work with the clay to see how you can form it. And I also just used my nails to create some texture on the clay to give a more realistic look to the antlers. Once you have it the shape you want, just let it dry for 24 hours or until it's hard, and just create another one so you have a set. And then you're gonna go ahead and paint it like I did to this one, and I actually just used some brown makeup that I had just because it was easiest. And I'm just carefully brushing this onto the antlers, and you just want to make sure you're really careful and gentle with this because the clay is actually really fragile, and I broke it a couple times and I had to glue it back together. But you just want to make sure you take your time with this. And then I'm going to take a headband that I got from Michael's, and I'm just going to hot glue the antlers to the headband. You can also try some super glue or some E6000, whatever you have handy, but the hot glue gun works really well. And you're also going to be hot gluing these artificial flowers I picked up. Just go ahead and pick out whatever you like and remove it from the stems, and you're just going to kind of arrange it the way you would like it on the headband, and you're going to hot glue everything in place. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect or exact, just kind of work with your materials. And this is what mine ended up looking like. Just make sure you hot glue enough flowers to cover most of the headband. And we'll come back to this later, but now let's go ahead and start on our fawn makeup. I already have my foundation and brows on. I'm just going to prime my eyes for the eyeshadows, and I'm using mostly neutral colors. You can use whatever you'd like, but I'm starting with a warm transition shade on my lids first and just kind of buffing this out. And then I'm going in with another blending brush and taking a warm brick brown color, and I'm going to blend this into my crease. And of course, in between each color, I just want to make sure everything is well blended. And now I'm taking a smaller shadow brush, picking up a matte dark chocolate brown shadow, and I'm going to place this all over my lids, and then I'm going to blend out the edges. And I went with a more neutral dark brown shadow on my lids just because that's what I like, but you can actually use whatever color you want because the effect really comes from the eyeliner later. And now I'm just going to highlight my brow bone, and then I'm just going to do a little bit more blending, but that's really it for the eyeshadows on my eyes right now. And now I'm going to do a whole lot of highlighting and contouring. This is actually a cream contour stick, and I'm highlighting my under eyes and in between my forehead, and I'm slightly blending this out, but I do want there to be a pretty high contrast. And for this, you can also use a concealer that's a few shades lighter than what you'd normally use, but just make sure it's nice and bright. And I'm just going to build this up a little bit more until I get it the way I want it. But you're going to really focus this highlight towards the center of your face from your eyes, kind of down towards your nose and mouth. And now I'm going back to my eyes, and I'm using a white eyeliner to kind of line my lower lash line and blending this out. I'm going to create like a really big doe eye effect, and I'm going to line my waterline as well. And then I'm taking a gel eyeliner and a small angled brush, and I'm going to create a really exaggerated wing. And I'm also going to elongate my inner corners by creating a small triangle with my gel eyeliner. So now I'm going to take a brown eyeshadow with a small brush, and I'm actually going to create a curved line underneath my eyes, almost like I'm tracing my lower lash line. And I'm just softening this line at the edges because I want it to look like almost a shadow, and this is to create a larger eye effect. After I did that brown line, I decided to create a longer triangle from my inner corners and also touch up that white eyeliner in the center as well. And then I'm just using my fingers to kind of blend everything together, and I'm adding a few coats of mascara, and then I'm going back to my highlight and adding a little bit more here. And this is where we're gonna go kind of crazy with this, but we're going back underneath the eyes, in the center of my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, right above my lip, as well as right in the center of my chin. And these are the areas you want to be brighter than the rest of your face. And I'm just going to take my beauty blender to gently tap at this to kind of blend it out just a little bit. And then I'm just going to set these areas with a little bit of banana powder. And then after that, I'm going in with a smaller angled brush and a contour shade to really contour the sides of my cheek to create a dramatic contour right at my cheekbones, at my temple, and around the hairline on my forehead. So this is one of those times where it's okay if you're a little bit more heavy-handed with the contour, because you actually do want to see it. And just make sure everything is nicely blended together. So I'm just dusting off that banana powder here. And then I'm taking a matte brown shadow to contour the sides of my nose, first with a fluffy blending brush, and then I'm going in with a detail brush with a darker brown to kind of define the sides. And this is to create that deer nose. And I'm doing a little bit of blending, so I'm just going to go back in with that highlight again down the bridge of my nose to make sure it's still really nice and bright, and blend this out with my fingers. And then I'm taking a black eyeliner to draw a small triangle at the tip of my nose with a little dip in the center so that it's a little bit curved. And then I'm going to fill this in and follow it around the sides of my nostril. And this part is optional, but I'm going to create a small line from the tip of my nose down to my lips. And then I'm going to fill my lips in with that black eyeliner. And we're almost done, so I'm going to put on my white spots, which are also optional, but I'm just using a white eyeshadow base with a small eyeshadow brush, and I'm just gently dotting these on where the contour is placed on my face. But I want these to be really subtle, so I'm just kind of lightly tapping this on. And once you have your spots on, you're pretty much done, but I decided to add a pair of big falsies to my eyes, and I'm also wearing a pair of black contacts from Pinkyparadise.com, and this gives my eyes that really big doe-eyed effect. So now the makeup is all done, and I'm going to grab my DIY antler flower crown and put it on to complete the Forest Fawn costume, and this is the completed look. I actually love this idea for Halloween costume makeup, and I wanted to just keep it on for the rest of the night. This is a great idea for a last-minute Halloween costume because I basically used a lot of things that I already had, except for the clay and the headband, but you can easily use things that you have around the house. I hope you guys enjoyed this Halloween makeup tutorial. Make sure to tag me in your pictures if you decide to recreate this look or the antler flower crown. I'd love to see it, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!